Good morning, beloveds. Happy Thursday. I'm the Moon Mama. How are y'all doing today? Thursday's a Jupiter day. Jupiter is currently in Capricorn. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and blessings and visions and not visions, but vision, like your vision, where you're going, what you know you're being called to. Jupiter is also the planet of excess, so sometimes we tend to overdo it when things get really good. Jupiter is the planet that governs, in the modern astrology, it governs Sagittarius. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. It's a gaseous planet, and it's also the planet of blessings and luck and enthusiasm and adventure, because that's what Sag is about. Jupiter also historically or traditionally governed Pisces, and Jupiter has this sort of God energy, and Pisces has that as well. And Jupiter, Sagittarius, governs religion, and so it's a spectrum, right? So it can be this traditional way of religion and God and, doing good and doing right and having God's blessings. Or it can be this way that you embody Jupiter, where you actually understand that you have the God principle within you, that you have the capacity to create from within you through your own, through the way you function, through the way you think, through the way you feel, and through the way you actually project your own reality. That's Jupiter as well. One of the things that is fascinating, because right now Jupiter is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is our physical world construct. It's our systems, our structures, and Capricorn is being traumatized by Pluto right now. And so Jupiter literally is coming in behind Saturn through Capricorn, behind Pluto through Capricorn, and bringing more light so that we can see what else. It's like really breaking it down. It's like really making sure that everything is gone. And what we need most during this time is faith in ourselves. And Jupiter is about our faith. And faith is a real thing. Like, I know when I was a Christian growing up, I thought faith was just like hoping and like, oh, I want something. But faith is a knowing. Faith is this ability to be able to hold in your mind what it is you see, desire, and know in the face of not being able to see it, and experience it in the 3D reality. Faith is the ability to build a construct inside of your mind and your heart and your body and your own temple, and hold that construct until it realizes. So it means like when the storm comes and you're like, oh, this is horrible, you can never give it up. And I remember when I was, oh my gosh, when I was a new mother, and I had just had a child who was diagnosed with Down syndrome, and my marriage was coming undone. Like, it was rapidly it was unraveling, like, you know how that is. Like, you know how you have, if you pull a tape measure and you pull it out really far and then you let it go and it just comes back. My marriage was doing that. It was really scary. And I had a child with special needs. I didn't know who was diagnosed with special needs. I didn't know. I didn't have any money. But there were some things that were good. I was living in a property that my family owned. And my son's father, even though we were both terrified, is just a generally good guy. So we weren't, there was always a sense of hope. But I used to sit down every day and hold the vision of light in my heart, the size of the head of a pin. I would just envision that light in my heart even though I had no idea how I was going to get where I wanted to be, if it was possible for me to get where I wanted to be, I just knew inside of myself that there was something for me, and it was the size of a light, the size of a pinhead, and I would hold that every day. Every day I would sit down and just, and then I would go about my day, going to doctor's appointments. Can my child hear? Trying to figure out where I'm going to live, trying to figure out how I'm going to make money, like all this sort of stuff. Just knowing that here, somehow, I'm going to make it. I remember one day I was walking through Whole Foods in Venice, and I was having the thought of suicide, and I was pushing my son in a groceries cart, and I was thinking, I was like, this is too hard. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have no idea. And now looking back and saying this out loud, it feels ridiculous to me because I was in Whole Foods. Like, I'm so dramatic. But it was really a scary time. And this Black woman approached me, and she worked there, and she was so friendly. And she's like, hey, how you doing? And we started talking. And she invited me to chant. She invited me to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which is, if you guys remember What's Love Got to Do with It, with Tina Turner. And she chanted, and I started chanting, and it changed my life. It changed my life. And the most amazing thing I learned from chanting with the Buddhists, with the Nichiren Buddhists, is that when you're in your darkest hour, the darkest hour is the most powerful hour there is. So don't resist it. And to be inside of it with like gratitude, like, oh my gosh, shit is so fucked up right now. That means that all is well. So that is Jupiter in Capricorn, and that is faith and the function of faith and how it works. But the moon is in Virgo today, and I am a Virgo, and Virgo is about healing and self-care and taking care of your physical body. So I wanted to talk today about some of the things that I use that really help me stay physically, mentally, and spiritually grounded. And I only have a little bit of time. So first of all, crystals. This is a Herkimer diamond. You can get a crystal Bible, and Herkimer diamonds are incredible. Like, I think I paid $6 for this thing, and it literally helps me cut through the deepest emotional traumas in my psyche. Like, I can get to the deepest stuff inside of myself with more grace and ease than I ever have in my life. This Herkimer diamond is a real thing. Another thing that I've been using to keep my immune system up and for like health, like deep cell health, is cell salts. Cell salts are the minerals that, when your mother is pregnant with you, you're getting all of her minerals. And so, because you're not in your mother's womb for an entire year, there are some minerals that you don't get because she gives birth to you, and then you're out of her womb and you're not pulling from her blood, and then you're getting food and all that sort of. So it's a different kind of experience. So cell salts are according to your astrology. So like, this is cell salt number 6, and 6 is Virgo. This is cell salt number 12, and 12 is Pisces. And then this is cell salt number 8, and 8 is Scorpio. And I take Virgo because I'm a Virgo. I take Pisces because it's the opposite of Virgo, and what you usually don't have the thing that is opposite you because you were born at that time. So I take number 12, and then I take number 8 because Spirit told me to take number 8. And one of the things, as we begin to do our meditations and listen and drink more water and spend time on the earth, your intuitive voice will become more clear, and you will get directions on what medicines are good for you, because we no longer need to rely on doctors in the way that we have. We need to have relationships with doctors where we have the governing power over our bodies, and we can go and share with them the things that we need, and then we can create together. Another thing I do is spirulina. Spirulina, I need something from the sea all the time. And so because I have a Pisces rising, I need something from the sea, and it really helps me with minerals and just things that are that I wouldn't get in normal food. I know that there's a craze now going on with the seaweed, or that I can't think of the name of it in this moment, but I've tried that before, and shipping it and processing it. I don't love that, but it's good too. I can't think of the name of it, but I know that everybody else is doing it. I also take cinnamon. Cinnamon is a highly magical herb. It gives you magic. It makes you magical, but it's also good for your heart. And it's also good to keep your heart open, like really just keeping your heart open and free and uplifted. And so I use cinnamon as well. And then I keep this vitamin C on hand. This is the best vitamin C I've ever used. It's called lipospheric, and it's like a gel, and it's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Many years ago, I had a neighbor that lived right upstairs, and he had worked in the healthcare industry for a while, like in the natural healthcare industry. And he would tell me all the best things to use. And this was one of the things that he told me to use, and I really love it. And then Thieves is an oil that I use. I put it on my son's feet, and I use it for myself also. And Thieves you can get from Young Living. And, I'm sure we can make these things ourselves, and I'm going to be making some myself. It's just been easier to purchase it. And Thieves is the ingredients are of, there were a group of thieves when they had the Black Plague who would go in and steal things off the bodies of the people who had died and who were decaying, and they didn't catch the plague. And they used these ingredients. And so Thieves is a really good oil to use as we are dealing with what we're experiencing as this pandemic sort of deal. But the best thing you can do is focus your mind and your heart and really understand who you are and begin to function inside of your faith so that you can build the reality that you desire from within yourself. With that, that's all I have today. I hope that this is supportive. I would love for you all to book readings, natal chart readings, new moon readings, so that I can be of support to you. Our world is really changing rapidly right now. And it's time for us to wake up into who we are. So with that, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day today. I love you all. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.